Whether you look into your garden as you're sitting down of an evening in your living room watching the TV or doing the dishes in your kitchen, you want a view that isn't dreary looking. But don't fret if it's not looking its best, as February is actually the perfect time to get into the garden and prepare for spring. In fact, this month is often the busiest time of the year for gardeners. Thankfully, although it never seems like it is living in the UK, the weather is beginning to get warmer, and wildlife is beginning to wake up. Blossoms are starting to appear on trees and greenery everywhere and slowly coming back to life. It's the perfect time of year to get started with your garden, and there's plenty to do. To help guide keen gardeners, David O'Money, an expert horticulturist and celebrity gardener, has explained the top 3 jobs to do now to help you save time and plan for spring. As reported by The Express, in his blog, David wrote, "February in the garden is filled with anticipation. The first signs of life are beginning to emerge as the plants shake off their winter dormancy. Splashes of color illuminate dark corners to herald the start of spring. And there is plenty of preparation to do. Top gardening jobs to do in February: plan what vegetables to grow. Planning what you will be planting in your garden in spring gives you more time to get organized and make sure you have a colorful gardening come summer. You should, if you can, order vegetable seeds now, as planting can be the perfect task for a quiet weekend day. In mid-February, you can sow tomato and cucumber seeds in a greenhouse. Carrots, onions, lettuce, radishes, peas and spinach can also begin to be grown indoors, or if you live in a milder part of the UK. David explained, February sowing will need protection, so take this time to get a plan in place and give your soil some TLC. If you can't wait to get going, start with sowing hardy veggies like broad beans in pots under cover or in a cold frame and planting out later in March. Garlic varieties like Solent White and shallots can't be planted in light soils only, as heavy soils need longer to warm up. Propagate bulbs. It's important to plant bulbs before springtime so you can enjoy flowers for longer, with February being the best time to sow your summer flowering bulbs into pots. Flowers which can be planted in February include cosmos and sweet peas. Now is also a good time to plant lilies. David wrote, plant lilies up until spring for a bountiful bloom when the weather is hot. Don't dilly-dally, lily bulbs won't keep, and it's worth getting them in the ground sooner rather than later. He added, lily bulbs can be planted in pots on the patio after growing indoors or in a cool greenhouse. You'll know you're ready when they're in flower. Lilies can also be forced to flower for an indoor display. This involves bringing the pot inside where it's warm around 6 weeks after planting. Join the Daily Record WhatsApp community. Get the latest news sent straight to your messages by joining our WhatsApp community today. You'll receive daily updates on breaking news as well as the top headlines across Scotland. No one will be able to see who is signed up, and no one can send messages except the Daily Record team. All you have to do is click here if you're on mobile, select Join Community and you're in. If you're on a desktop, simply scan the QR code above with your phone and click Join Community. We also treat our community members to special offers, promotions, and adverts from us and our partners. If you don't like our community, you can check out anytime you like. To leave our community, click on the name at the top of your screen and choose Exit Group. If you're curious, you can read our privacy notice. Help put your local wildlife as well as taking care of your garden and all its plants and flowers. You can also look after your local wildlife. This is because at this time of year, there are fewer food sources for them, which makes it harder to keep warm. Helping your local environment can also help out your garden, as birds, hedgehogs, bees and spiders, yes, the things many people are afraid of, are essential for naturally keeping pests away from your plants. Consider introducing low-flowering plants and shrubs into your garden to help provide shelter. David wrote, having patches of uncut grass and wildflowers will encourage wildlife like small mammals, bees, butterflies and other insects into the garden. David also suggests a great way to help wildlife is by planting honeysuckle. He wrote, in summer, honeysuckle will invite insects into the garden, a great food source for our feathered friends. Careful consideration should be given if you choose to remove existing plants from the garden. Think about how it might impact existing wildlife, and whether what you're hoping to replace it with will bring the same value. Don't miss the latest news from around Scotland and beyond. Sign up to our daily newsletter.